Good afternoon, and I wanted to give a summary of what we've been able to capture this week and the notes that I've asked you guys to write. Okay, so I hope so far we are able to move together as a team and that you have no issues. And just as I've said before, in case you have issues that need to be addressed, kindly let me know so that we are able to resolve as we move on. Actually, we're almost coming to the end of our course outline. Probably yeah, by mid of next month we should be done. So I want us to to move forward. And as we move forward, I also want to introduce some past papers so that we're able to revise. Yeah, because maybe most of you will do your exams in December, depending now with the guidelines that we get from Kenya National Examination Council. Okay, so I also want to create time for us to be able to do revision. So this is very important for us so that apart from the ordinary studies, we also get to sample some of the questions to expect in an exam. Okay, so I want to welcome you guys on board, and I want us now to go to the last topic that we captured last week, which was handling security threats. Remember, in any organization and especially in any hotel industry, sometimes we have had cases of security threats. These have come in form of bombing, where we've had some hotels being bombed. We've also seen hotels on fire. Yeah, so some of these issues are very sensitive and especially to their guests. Therefore, we would need to reassure our guests that even as they are in staying with us, that we're able to take care of them in case something happens. So this is what we are calling the security aspects, or the handling of security threats. Okay, so this is very important. Yeah, because the utmost objective of any organization is to safeguard, yeah, the interest or the assets of either the hotel, which includes now the guests. Therefore, it is important for us to come up with systems of monitoring and managing these kind of threats. For example, when you walk into a hotel, you might find yourself being checked. Yeah, so why are they checking you? They're checking you because they want to be sure that even as they put you, or even as they welcome you to their hotel, they are safer. Yeah, they are safer, and that you will also tend to feel safer. Okay, yeah, so we also need to, we've seen cases where you go into a hotel, that person stays in that hotel for a very long time, and they start arranging other things that are not very good. Okay, so it is important to ensure that we come up with a system that is able to monitor people who come into our offices. Yeah, we also have a system where we can perform drills. Now drills are what happens in case there's a fire outbreak, what happens in case there's a terror attack. So some of those information should be made available to the guests when they are staying with us. Okay, so what are some of the ways under which we are able to handle security threats? One way is ensuring that we protect our guests from fire. So how do we ensure that we protect our guests from fire? Is by coming up with fire detective system. For example, when we have the smoke detectors, So in case the, 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 the system detects some smoke, the system goes on. Okay, so the same system can be used in case there's a fire outbreak. So it's able to detect smoke and now be able to raise an alarm. We also have got escape procedures. Escape procedures is where you have got an exit, emergency door, etc., that is clearly labeled for you to be able to leave the hotel in case there is a fire outbreak. We also have got the firefighting equipment. Yeah, we've got fire extinguishers that are placed in different positions in the hotel. Okay, so another way of ensuring that our guests are safe is by getting to know how to handle terrorist attacks. I'm sure you've all heard about the terror attacks that are very common. Like 2 years ago, we had a terror attack in one of a main hotel called the Dusit in Westlands, which was a terror attack. So they went into the hotel, started shooting people, they extended from the hotels and moved to the other part of the building. So sometimes this is quite scary, and sometimes this is something we cannot plan for. But in the event that it was to happen, there are certain things that are supposed to be taken seriously. For example, you might receive a telephone call on a terror attack. Okay, and when that happens, please take that information seriously. Yeah, ensure that you inform the relevant authorities of that kind of information. Okay, then of course we've got threats to privacy. Yeah, so we say it is a duty of the front office to protect the privacy of their guests, and especially if they are in the public eye. For example, if you are to receive a VIP into your hotel, yeah, you should not be in the front line to go say, oh, we have this MD in our hotel, staying in our hotel, or we've got this CEO, or we've got this MP, or we've got this minister. No, it is important for you to ensure that we preserve the privacy of our guests, because these are people who are known. Yeah, you never know who could be planning anything against them. Okay, the other thing is threats to guest property. Okay, although sometimes hotels have they have limited liability, yeah, it is in the interest of protecting the reputation of the hotel that to ensure safety of its guests and property, and if anything, to protect the reputation of the hotel. Yeah, so if a hotel is unsafe area or an area frequented by some character that are not very safe, guests may be made aware of this if they intend to venture out at the hotel at night. So for example, these guests come to stay with us. Yeah, maybe they want to go out at night, and maybe wherever they want to go out at night, it's somewhere which is within our knowledge that is not safe. So it is our responsibility as a hotel to be able to inform the guests of the surroundings. Okay, so that in case anything was to happen, they are aware, or to prevent them from pursuing or going out maybe at some wee hours. Well, it is not very safe. Okay, then of course we've got the other threat, which is misbehaving guests. Guests can come into a hotel, and sometimes as a result of while they are staying with us, they are able to maybe come up with fights, maybe as a result of drinking. Yeah, so this is very important for us to ensure that, yeah, that sometimes if you get to an extent whereby, even though it is very difficult, but in case you are to receive a guest who is maybe drunk, yeah, and who is behaving in unruly manner. Sometimes it would be advisable to seek guidance before you accommodate them. Okay, then also we talk about protecting our staff, our own staff, the people who work in this hotel. Okay, so staff should be able to work in an environment which they feel is harmonious and secure. Therefore, the same measures that are taken to protect the guests should be provided also to the employees. Okay, so there are no privileges when it comes to safety. Yeah, safety should cut across board. So safety is for both the employees and the guests. Of course, we've got the theft from hotel. Sometimes there's some guests who take away things, yeah, from our hotel. Yeah, maybe they carry out the remote control, maybe they carry out the the towels, etc. So it is important to ensure that we have taken, or we've put into place measures that will make sure that we're also able to safeguard our own property in the hotel. So I hope up to that point I am clear. Yeah, and this is just this information is only meant to make you aware of what you need to do in case especially when it revolves around the safety of our guests. Okay, the other thing that I remember we wrote last week, or we discussed, or I gave you the notes, was what we call the front office soaps. Yeah, now these are not soaps for bathing. Yeah, these are standard operating procedures. Yeah, they are standards. There are certain things that are required of us, that we have to follow these standard guidelines for us to be able to manage our operations effectively. For example, when a guest comes into our hotel, okay, how do you handle the guest luggage? Okay, how do you handle the guest luggage? So maybe you will call once he's done with registration, or maybe when he's coming out of his car, yeah, he will get somebody at the door who will assist him to carry his luggage. Yeah, so the guest vehicle will stop at the entrance. Yeah, go ahead and open the door for the guest to come out. Yeah, greet them and welcome them. Yeah, remove their luggage from their vehicle. Yeah, and direct them towards the reservations desk. Okay, yeah, so there are certain procedures that are very important that we have to manage, or we have to follow when we are handling our guests. But that's what we call the standard operating procedure. They're just guidelines on what is expected of us when we are handling guests. Okay, so we also have other soaps for handling reservation requests. Yeah, if it's a call, somebody who is calling, pick a call after 3 times, before 3 times, maybe on the second ring. Yeah, greet the guest and identify the organization. Yeah, like for example, thank you for calling Intercontinental Hotel. Good morning. My name is, identify the name of the organization of the hotel and greet the guest. So those are some of the procedures. Yeah. Ask the guests, how long they are willing to stay with us, give them as much information as they ask. Yeah. Provide information about the amenities that you offer, etc. So this is very, very important. So these standards are very important for us. Okay, these ones we've captured them when you are dealing with like reservation, what happens when a guest comes in, what happens. But now these are procedures that are followed in different sections of the hotel. Okay, so we also have the standard operating procedures for guests when they're checking in. When a guest arrive, greet the guest, ask them for their name politely, search for their details into the system, generate or print a registration card, hand over the card to the guest for verifying printed details, request the guest to show their ID or their passport. Yeah, request the guest to fill in the information on the guest registration card. Yeah, so these are some of the information procedures that you follow. Yeah, inform the guest about an early or a late checkout policies. Yeah, request the guest to sign on the guest registration card. Yeah, update the details on of the guests. Yeah, create a guest account, prepare copies of the passports and their visa if need be, in case they are foreigners, attach them to the GRC, and then file the entire set. So those are some of the procedures. Then we've got procedures for when sometimes guests would also ask us to wake them up, wake up calls. Yeah, so when you're handling a wake up call, what happens? Wake up call is where you call a guest in the morning and maybe they have given you instructions to call them. I want to leave by 5 o'clock, so make sure you call me. So the first thing is to greet them, ask them what time they'll be willing to be called. Yeah, create a wake up call register which has got those details: the salutation, the guest name, the accommodation number, wake up date, wake up time. Yeah, any special request they could require. Maybe I want you, when you wake me up, I need some coffee. So get note of those details. Yeah, conclude the conversation by greeting the guest again, pass the requests for coffee to the relevant staff, etc. So we've got handling the wake up call automatically and also handling it manually. Yeah, we also have procedures on how to cancel requests. Yeah, so sometimes a guest may initiate a cancellation of the reserved accommodation. So this is a procedure. Request the guest to give you their full names and their reservation number. Search the guest details on the database. Yeah, ask the guest if you'd like to postpone it. Yeah, ask them if maybe the reasons why they have cancelled. Maybe they could be having very genuine reason. Maybe why they are canceling their reservation is because maybe they've also, whatever they were coming to do has also been postponed. Maybe they're coming for a meeting. Yeah, and then that meeting is postponed, therefore they have to cancel the reservation. So get to know the reasons behind the cancellation. Yeah, so inform the caller about the cancellation charges in case there are any charges that are applicable. Cancel the reservation to the system. Inform the guests about the email, the cancellation. Maybe you can ask them to give you their email address and you are able to send them the details about the cancellation. Yeah, so of course we've got SOAPs for controlling the guest room keys. These keys are not supposed to be handled just like that. Yeah, so you need to make sure that at least you have a pair. But you see, in the modern world now, we no longer have keys. We have what we call cards, smart cards, that are swiped and the door opens. Okay, so in case request the guest for their last name and their accommodation number. That is when you're giving accommodation keys to the guest. Yeah, check the information told by the guest against the one that you've recorded. Maybe these guests had gone out and maybe they're coming back. Just before you give them the keys, make sure that you find out certain information about them. Yeah, if there is any discrepancies, you can try to iron it with them. Yeah, so do not give out that key without proper authentication. So don't just give the key. Yeah, confirm on your part, because anything can happen. Yeah, so it's better to be sure than to be sorry. Okay, so in case there was an issue with a lost key, give a new one. Yeah, but of course, before you give a new one, make sure you followed all the laid out procedures for you to issue another key. Yeah, so you must also ensure that the accommodation keys to any person that claims to be sent by the guest. Yeah, you cannot give out a key to somebody who claimed they had been sent by the guests. So you can call back the person who gave out those instructions before you go ahead. So these are just procedures that are followed out in any organization, standard. Yeah, standard procedures that are very important for us to be able to know them. Okay, so I hope up to that point I am very clear. Then the other thing that I also wanted to inform you is that we shall be having our cards on Friday. At Friday we'll have our class at 9 a.m. So please make sure you avail yourself so that we're able to do this exam. Okay, so please take note, the exam is just meant to test you, to see how far you've understood so far. And then in case there are any issues that you would want to clarify, please feel free to contact me and I'll be able to take you through that. Otherwise, I wish you guys a very nice afternoon and I do have a very nice weekend ahead. Bye.